Ever wondered how VLAN hopping can be used for pen testing? Well, let's dive into it. VLAN hopping, a network exploit, is a method of gaining unauthorized access to traffic on other VLANs that would typically be inaccessible. Intriguing, right? Now you may ask, why should I care about VLAN hopping? Well, it's simple. If you're a cybersecurity enthusiast, understanding VLAN hopping could help you identify vulnerabilities and strengthen network defenses. On the other hand, if you're looking to protect your network, knowing how this exploit works can help you preempt potential threats and safeguard your system. In the world of cybersecurity, knowledge is power, and understanding the ins and outs of tricks like VLAN hopping could very well be your secret weapon. So, are you ready to delve deeper into this fascinating topic? Stay tuned to uncover the process of VLAN hopping for pen testing. Before diving into the VLAN hopping, we first need to understand what a VLAN is. Imagine a virtual local area network, or VLAN for short, as a distinct, exclusive neighborhood within a bustling city. It's a subnetwork, carved out from a larger physical network, purpose-built to communicate with specific devices. Now, what's the purpose of a VLAN? Well, it's all about organization and security. VLANs group related devices together, making network management smoother. It's like having all your friends living in the same neighborhood, making communication easier and more efficient. But it's not just about making life easier, it's also about making it safer. VLANs provide an extra layer of security by isolating devices from one another. It's like having a security guard at the entrance of your neighborhood, restricting access to only those who belong. Now that we comprehend VLANs, let's explore VLAN hopping. VLAN hopping. It sounds complex, doesn't it? But it's actually quite straightforward. At its core, VLAN hopping is a network attack, allowing a malicious actor to send traffic to a VLAN where they don't have direct access. It's a technique that pen testers can use to identify vulnerabilities in a network's security. There are two main types of VLAN hopping to consider: switch spoofing and double tagging. Switch spoofing involves a hacker configuring a device to mimic the behavior of a switch, tricking the real switch into believing it's communicating with a fellow switch. This allows the attacker to receive traffic meant for other VLANs. Double tagging, on the other hand, is a bit more cunning. The attacker manipulates the traffic by adding two VLAN tags. The first tag gets stripped off by the first switch, and the second tag directs the traffic to the target VLAN. Having understood the basics of VLAN hopping, it's time to delve into the step-by-step process. The process of VLAN hopping for pen testing might seem intricate, but once you break it down, it's fairly simple. Firstly, you'll need to set up a host machine on a network. This is where you'll be performing the VLAN hopping from. It's crucial to ensure the host machine is secured and locked down to prevent any unintended vulnerabilities. Next, you'll need to configure your network switch. This is an essential step as the switch is the bridge between your host machine and the target VLAN. Be mindful of the switch port mode, as it needs to be set to trunk to allow traffic from multiple VLANs. The third step involves the use of a tool called Yersinia. This tool emulates the Cisco Discovery Protocol, or CDP, which is a proprietary protocol designed by Cisco to help network administrators understand how Cisco devices are connected to each other. Yersinia will trick the switch into thinking your host machine is a switch, allowing you to access other VLANs. During this process, you may come across certain obstacles. One common issue is the switch port security feature, which can prevent VLAN hopping by limiting the number of MAC addresses allowed on a port. Overcoming this obstacle involves conducting a MAC flooding attack, which saturates the switch's MAC address table, causing it to behave like a hub and broadcast traffic to all ports. Remember, while performing these steps, it's vital to adhere to ethical hacking guidelines. Always ensure you have the necessary permissions before conducting any pen testing. It's not about causing harm, but about identifying and fixing vulnerabilities. After you've successfully hopped onto the target VLAN, don't forget to clean up. Reset the switch's configuration and remove any traces of your activity. This is not just a good practice, but it also ensures you leave the network as secure as you found it. With these steps, you have a roadmap to perform VLAN hopping for pen testing. So, we've covered quite a bit today, haven't we? Let's take a moment to recap the key points we've discussed and really solidify this knowledge. We started off with a basic understanding of what VLANs are. We discovered that VLANs, or virtual local area networks, are essentially subnetworks within a larger physical network. They allow for segmentation, which boosts network performance and improves security, but they're not impervious to vulnerabilities. That's where VLAN hopping comes in. We delved into this intriguing concept, which is essentially a method of gaining unauthorized access to a network by hopping from one VLAN to another. This is achieved by manipulating the network protocols that are used to establish VLANs. It's a clever tactic, but it's also a glaring security risk. We then went on to discuss how VLAN hopping can be used for penetration testing, or pen testing as it's commonly known. Pen testing is a crucial aspect of cybersecurity, as it allows us to identify and rectify potential vulnerabilities before they can be exploited by malicious actors. By utilizing VLAN hopping in pen testing, we can uncover vulnerabilities that might otherwise go unnoticed. We took a deep dive into the step-by-step process of using VLAN hopping for pen testing. We started with the setup process, ensuring we have the right tools and knowledge at our disposal. We moved on to the execution phase, where we put our plan into action and navigated through the network. Finally, we arrived at the analysis phase, where we evaluated our findings and identified potential security flaws. In conclusion, VLAN hopping is a powerful tool in the realm of pen testing, providing us with a unique perspective on network vulnerabilities, but it's also a double-edged sword, highlighting the need for robust network security measures. Remember, with knowledge comes responsibility. Always use these techniques ethically and responsibly. Thank you for joining us today, and stay safe out there in the cyber world.